All right, we should be live. Outstanding. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Oh, I need my streaming console open. Let's go to a window and grab that. All right. Hello, everybody. I hope we're all here. Welcome to today's stream where we're going to look to recreate a map. All right, let's just check and make sure that our everything is still set up here properly. We have our noise gate on. Great, everything is fine. Everything looks good in OBS. All right, I am live on the stream. Where are we? Stream manager. Perfect. All right, so let's just update. All right, the tweet is sent. Hi, everyone. So I've been chatting in my Discord quite regularly when I find interesting things online. So normally it's things from games that are in development, other indie games, cool assets, and I also tend to share stuff from 2 Minute Tabletop. So Ross here creates these absolutely gorgeous pieces of art and shares them with everybody. So there's pay to donate and there's free options. And yeah, there's some really inspiring stuff in there. It's really creative to be able to see something that's kind of tangible and go, how would that fit into something like a bigger game? I also get a lot of questions around how I build terrains and pull things together. So I thought, why not take something that's already around and see if we can get it together? So let's have a look at this map here. So this is a quarry. It's over a bunch of different levels. You can see it floods up to this level, so we can see everything that kind of sits below that. And then you can flood all the way up to this top level that only includes this upper layer here. So it fits in with lava. But yeah, so we figured we've got a couple of different levels. We've got down here at the bottom. And then above that, we've got these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 major areas plus around here. And then at the highest level, we've just got this main level here. So I figured, why not let's create this in Unity and see what we can do. So here's our Unity project. So what we're going to want to do is create a terrain. So that is a 3D object. Let's create our terrain. In it comes, that is a very big terrain. So the first thing we want to do is just go into the terrain settings, the terrain default size here. 1,000 is way bigger than we need. Let's go to 256 by 256, which still gives us lots of space. And the terrain, our height map resolution is only 513 by 513. So it means that each pixel is going to count for about half a meter, because we're 256 meters across and we're 513. Just go ahead and bump that up to 2049 by 2049. That should do us just fine. And all right, now let's go back to paint terrain. So the first thing I like to do is go to paint texture. Let's go edit terrain layers. Let's add a layer. And let's just pick something like, we want dirt, but we want to use dirt from a specific pack. So let's just bring that down to dirt. Where are we? That's Polygon Nature Biomes from Synty. That dirt with cracked leaves, dirt cracked, dirt. That dirt will do us. There we go. So we'll drop that in. And now our entire terrain will instantly get painted with the first texture. All right, so now because what we're building is a quarry that's sunken into the ground. So what we're going to want to do is, all right, so let's move this over. Let's put the game tab behind the scene view so we can have all of this space. Close the animator. Don't need to animate. All right, there we go. We've got a bigger work area. So let's get our inspector so we can see what's going on and everyone can follow along. So what we want to do is we want to grab raise or lower terrain. So I'll use the square brackets to expand and shrink the size of the brush. It doesn't matter particularly what it looks like, but what we're going to do is we're going to raise things up. So here we go. We'll get up to here. Now we want to go, I want to switch to the set height brush and pick a nice solid brush. And we're going to shift click to select a height. So we'll shift click to pick here. And now what we can do is let's increase the opacity. That's how quickly our brush will apply. That's looking great. All right, so opacity all the way up to 100. Brush size a little bigger. So what I'm just going to do is take a big chunk of the map and we're going to set the entire map up into a cliff. We're just going to raise everything up and then we're going to effectively carve our quarry down into things instead of up. The quarry should be sunken into the ground. Yeah, getting a lot of lag with this brush. Seems very unhappy. Alright, I think we need to go a little bit higher. So let's just world space, try. Alright, welcome to the channel everybody. Nice to see people joining in. Wow, Unity is really lagging on this today. Let's make the brush bigger. And let's just paint everything. And we'll wait for that to catch up. Now, even if we're not building something like a quarry, when working with painting a terrain, I always like to get in and raise the terrain at least 30 or 40 units before I start building anything, to create that free space to be able to carve things down a little bit, add things like rivers, streams, a bit of an indentation and that kind of thing. I think it's far easier to work with a terrain when you've got a little bit of breathing room to be able to lower things down. All right. There we go. Unity has caught up. Let's give it a test. Raise or lower terrain. Grab this nice brush. Shift click to test. And there we go. We've got the ability to sink a hole into the ground. Wonderful. All right, let's go to set height. Cover it up. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. Let's make our brush a little bigger. Now let's have a look at our map and see what we want to do. All right, so we've got, effectively we're a rectangle with a bump up on this side. And then we'll come back and we'll add in this top layer a little bit later on. All right, so let's go back to Unity. I want to go to Raise and lower terrain. This feels like a good size. Alright, so let's just go around about here in the middle somewhere. Think. There we go. We'll sink in a couple of times. Now we want to set height and pull down the bottom there. And we're just going to carve out that shape. Alright, so we know we go. We want some nice steep sides. What our tree will have. We know there's a bit of a bump up here. Slowly. Unity is very unhappy about the resolution. Like that. There we go. Looking a little better. Let's hope we've got the scale right. Alright, let's get a harder brush. Sharper. There we go. Don't worry about the fine details too much. We'll come back in and add some noise. Brush this up a little bit. Alright, let's have a look. There's the shape of our quarry carved out of the ground. That's looking pretty good. Alright, let's get some scale in here. So let's bring up. So some pieces that we want to work with. I've selected Polygon Dungeon here because it's got some little wooden bridges and things like that that I think we can use. So let's just go. We'll bring out a bridge and another piece of bridge here. So we've got that. We're also going to need some ladders. So let's just search for ladder, switch our type to prefab. And let's have a look. So there's a bit of a rickety rope ladder from Fantasy Kingdom. And we've got something a little bit sturdier made out of planks from Polygon Pirates. So I think we will go with the Pirates version. There is a big scale difference between bridges and these ladders. Alright, so there we go. There's those guys. And then while we're here, let's just grab a character. And a hero. There we go. There's a guy. Knight in shining armor. He'll do to set some scale for our quarry. Alright, so now let's take the halfway point, and what we want to do is add in the second layers. So we've got these square things that sit kind of here and here. So these are fairly close to the edge. Hang on, we're missing something. We need to do this second layer around here before we can drop that in. That's fine. All right, so back into Unity. What we want to do is select our terrain, grab our brush. We want to go to set height, lower the opacity a little bit so we're not quite as ruthless with it. And let's set height here. All right, and now let's have a look. Now we've got that halfway level down there. So what we want to do is add that all over this side. Got a piece. There we go. Now we've got something at that second level. At that level, we've got all the way around the bottom edge. Only to here, so this is clearly a ramp. Comes up this way. Alright, so we just need to do up and around the top. And then we'll have to construct this ramp later. So, let's come in here. We've got this piece on that side. Let's set the thing at the bottom and trim that side down a bit. Alright, shrink this down. Let's select that. Do that carving on that side. That's looking pretty good. Alright, and now we need to this hexagon brush, put a little piece here. We've got another one. Alright, hexagons are a little bit different to what we're after, but that's fine. I don't have a square brush in here as yet, and I'm not going to take the time to create one on stream. Alright, let's select elsewhere, grab our bridge. Alright, here we go. Bring the bridge in. Looking great. Alright, so let's here a little bit. Let's make a copy. Bring it over here. Add a little. Unselect that, please. Alright, let's those. Alright, those are looking pretty good. Alright, there we go. There's a piece of bridge. We're off to a good start. Alright, so now that we've got him in place, what do we got? So these bridges also connect to the outside edge. So we just want to go in. Got 1, 2. Now we've got some smaller bridges that connect to the right. Work with this whole platform across here. So while we're in here, grab our terrain, set height, select that. Alright, let's shrink our hexagon a little and we'll go build one over here. That also extends to way up this. Alright, and that's all the way around the outside of what will a little risen piece. Alright, so like that. Grab our bridge. Can't seem to bridge. Here we go. Alright, so with our bridge selected, let's go over here where we're going to pop it on. Go about here between the two and go Control Shift F, which will mimic our current position onto the object we're looking at. Our bridge into place. Alright, so let us zero out the rotations. Let's put it around here. Alright, now we can extend our bridge a little bit. Send it into the side of the rock. Alright, looking great. There's our bridge. Alright, now let's go. Select it. The other way. We just need to cross this other gap. Let's stretch a little more. Will that get us across? Not quite. Alright, for that little of a gap, select him. height, and let's just add a little more. There we go. All right, bridge is set. We're looking pretty good so far. Bridges that go around here. We got one over there. All right, so let's grab, select open space again. Grab our bridge. Select, duplicate. Control D to duplicate. Remember that one. It's great as you're zipping around the scene. All right, let's duplicate again. Embed that in the ground, and a little bit. Get them so they come together. That's great. All right, so let's just real quickly while we're looking at that, we go tools, Pro Builder. Here's our Pro Builder window. Pro Builderize the bridge. Go into vertex mode. Over here, sticking out of the ground, and let us get rid of. There we go. We can just delete polygon that way. All right, that is, he's done except for him. Oh, you know, one more time. That log across that hole. All right, deselect. Pro Builder window can go away for now. All right, there we go. All cleaned up and done, I think. Yeah. All right, there's our bridge. Why has our bridge changed color? How interesting. All right, we'll have to go in and make sure that's got the same material applied to it. All right, so we've got our bridges, bridge, comes around to this platform, it comes around here. All right, so this one we've also got platform over here and a little one at the bottom. So here in our quarry, we want to put that height. Let's grab him again. We want to grab a little block there. Down again. On here. Give us that platform at the bottom there. All right, so now we will sample the top. Make ourselves a little bit bigger. All right, let's come in here. And we're going to carve. Raise the terrain up. Circle around so we can here. Now the tricky part is when you're carving things like this, your brush will tip down the sides here. So you just need careful attention around. You're actually going to put into place. Here we go. There's our large central pillar. All right, he's looking pretty good. All right, so now let's just drop a plane into the world. Ugh. All right, spam bot, come on. No thanks. All right, so what we want to do is create ourselves a plane. We'll go back into 3D object, we'll create a plane. Here it is. There is our plane. Let's come down, down, down. Here, down we go. All right, let's scale up so we fill the quarry. And now we want a water shader. Let's go to material, and we want water. So we have, this is the text water on Polygon Dungeon, but let's go with something far newer. Want Sci-Fi Worlds, Empires, Nature Biomes, here we go. River water. Fabulous. Look at that. A ripple and everything. A bit of water down bottom here. And our water levels can come up. And our quarry can flood. Perfect. Alright, here we go. Lower our water down to here. Terrific. Alright, let's go back and have a look what Ross has created for us. So what we need to do is do some walkways that extend across here. We want to cover that one and extend off onto our walkway. Alright, so we just need to get a little bit more walkway happening in here. So let's grab one again. Up a bit. Great. Alright. Duplicate it. Rotate around. Hold Control to snap. So you can snap on grid movements or rotate in 15-degree increments. That's looking pretty good. Duplicate again. It's not ideal that we're using just the same piece over and over again, but you know, we're kind of speed building here just to show how things go and show how we can build something and set it up. All right, so now on our map we've got our platforms here. We've got some walkways that extend out. Now what happens at forms that come in? Okay. Now look, we've missed a level. As the water comes up at this top level, but there's a lower one just below it. So raise this top stuff up even more, which we can do. What we're missing from that is just bottom edge. Top is higher. So the best way to do that is going to be select our terrain, go raise or lower terrain. Now our opacity needs to come right down because when we click, it's going to paint and raise that up. So what we want to do is minimize how much we're going to raise it by so that we can stay in control. So let's stay here. Click, click. There we go. What do we think? A little bit too high. Let's lower. Feels pretty good. All right, let's go over and do a test with our ladder. So select the ladder. Come in here, get ourselves mostly flat. Put the ladder in place. All right, there we go. So the ladder's about the same size as the guy. So about 2 guys tall. Doesn't feel too bad. All right, so let's select that again. Grab our brush. Get height. Shift click to sample. And we're just going to paint. Closer to this edge. Around here a little more so that our top layer is nice and high. right, looking pretty good. Our ladder is buried in the ground, so out here. There we go. That's looking pretty good. All right, so now let's rotate the ladder, line up a little more. Cliff looks like. All right, let us here. Pretty good. Up to the top, out a little. Then we're going to come down, copy the ladder. All right, now we just need to smooth that out a little. Grab our brush one more time. Pull this, scale down, not quite that far, about that size. And we just carefully carve into the side of it. There we go. All right, the ladder, copy it one more time, bring it down, and embed itself in the ground. Yeah, and there we go. We've got ourselves a ladder up there. All right, so now we've got fabulous looking area. So if we grab our plane, rename that water. So we can have no water at all. Then the water level can rise. So those platforms get covered. That leaves us with central area, raised pillar on it, way up to there. That leaves another. All right, how's our map looking? All right, so once we get to this top level, we need to put a little bit more wood on there to decorate, and then we've just got this ramp that makes its way all the way around the outside of the quarry. So let's look at making ourselves a ramp around this outside edge. So we'll lower our water down, that out of the way. All right, perfect. So what we want to do is select our terrain. Let's show how I do these things. Obviously, if you're using something like Gina or Path Painter, you can literally just draw a path. But we're just going to go over a quick way to get some of these things done without having additional tools. So what we're going to do is grab the set height brush. Set ourselves here at the top. All right, so let's pick a size about this. Feels pretty good. All right, so go. So where's our bridge going to? Where's our ramp go from? It starts. All right, it starts around about here, just to the right of where our platform is. So we'll take our platform. Here we go, and then just to the right of it, to go a little bit bigger, and we're going right here. That opacity a little bit control. All right, here we go. So we're setting our height. All right, so once we've got our height in here, then let's go 45. So we'll just do 5 more. Go. All right, and then go 40. Overlap a little. Great. 35. All right, 30 more. All right, so now going this way, we're heading up. Change the size to 20. Okay. way. Alright, and that pretty much gets us to the bottom. Here we go. So what we've done is we've kind of carved out these steps down the side here, getting 5 lower at each time. We've overlapped by a bit. Now what we want to do is smooth height, raise and lower. Get a nice round brush. Pretty good. For opacity, let's bring that 30s. Alright, and now just alright, so we want to go a little bit bigger. The idea is we should be sampling across most of the size on the brush. Just sample a little more. Starting to blend. Behavior. Not happening as fast as we wanted to, which is always the way. 5 is a bit bigger of a step than I would normally try to do, so that's fine. Let's go. Set height. SL blurry. Pick scope somewhere. Yeah. Round off a little more. Alright, let's sample some more. More. Yeah. They're looking a little better now. There we go. That's a little rough. But let's get light down. A little bit of a big brush. Or opaque. Alright, that's not too bad. Certainly not in a exact slope, but we're certainly on it. The kind of thing we would want to do. Alright, well there goes my viewer. Thanks for tuning in. Always lovely to have a crowd here. Alright, let's smooth a little. Looking great. Alright, now we want to smooth out the top here. So let's raise or lower to lower. Then let's just set height what we want. tighten things up a little bit. Alright, I'm being messaged on Discord. That's fine. Nothing to deal with there. Alright, there we go. There is our ramp wandering around the side. Alright, here we go. So now we've got our quarry. First layer of water that comes up, we've got platforms to get it. We've got one over this side. Let's just go in and add one more. Alright, so we're going to set height. Let's sample him. Increase the opacity. Something. Set height. There we go. Another platform to one side. Bridge. Clone. W to move. And that. Trinket. Clone. And that. There we go. The bridge to one side. Where is our water plane? Alright, here we go. Fill things up with river water. Water comes all the way up here. Oop, got a few platforms and things sitting around. We've got some bridges between them. And then if things flood a little further, got our ramp over here. Slowly uncovers all the way up to this top layer. Water comes up here. We've still got flood all the way. Still got this raised platform that sits a little bit higher. All right, we're looking pretty great here so far. Hopefully we've done an all right job with Ross's map here. All right, so now we just want to get some bridges coming in from the sides onto the when the water is high. All right, we just need a platform. Be this high. So let's just select our terrain again, grab our brush, set height. All right, let's sample up here. And we're going to something new. Not perfect. Add a bit of detail. All right, let's set height from the bottom. Halve this away. Come back and fix our ramp. What we are missing was upper platform here. Seems to form an important part of getting in and out of things. Otherwise, nowhere to get into the top part. So let's grab this. Come into this opening between them. All right. Bridge. Get that in the face here a little. Rotate this down. See that across. All right. So if we rotate, we should line those up. Now, if we select them both, we want to choose center, and now we can rotate them as a group on the right scale. Scale that in. Find the spot where they don't quite stick out the top. Now we've got a bit of a bridge that sits between these. Great. Let's rotate to line up. Perfect. All right, so now let's just take that, get in, rotate around the other way. Don't want to just line up here. And that just all right, that's looking pretty great. What we can do is, all right, let's go in and grab a rock. There we go. Rock outcropping. All right, so now we've got ramps that lead to a bunch of places. We've got our ladder. We've got these platforms down here. And run across a bridge. Run across a bridge. Let this way a little. Here a bit more. He's looking great. Bridge that goes here. And then we've got this outside area. All right. Now, the last thing that we want to do before we wrap things up is just add a little bit of texture and detail in here. So we've got this single rock surface that kind of sits everywhere, which cracked dirt. I think what we need to do is paint a different texture in. So we've got a little bit more variety in how things here. Paint texture. All right, so we've got the one layer. So go edit, add layer. Okay. So we've got this rock wall layer. He's looking pretty great. From Synty's Polygon Nature pack. So we'll just take this on here. Quite liberal with that. Fill out around it. Again, if you're using Gaia or Gina, you can actually set up some rules. I've got some videos on the way on how to build those kind of things automatically. But we're just going with the native tools here, just to see what we can build. All right, so now we want to go edit terrain. We want to add another layer. Rock. So we've got the rock wall is the looking at, and then from nature biomes we've got this mossy rock. Got rock here, and we've got terrain rock. Grab terrain rock. There we go. Scale this brush down a bit. Paint in top surface here. Fill the sides too much. Paint those in. Not perfect. Doesn't need to be. Go. That way we're just getting rid of that rock wall look. Top of things. Out. Now, what you'll notice is our rock looks a little big compared to our rock wall. This texture we're painting on here is a bit oversized. So once we go in and paint some of that around here, what we can do is jump in and scale that down, give things a bit more of a natural. All right, here we go. Here, whole area over here. there would be a lot of set dressing and things there. Alright, so our rocks here are order of magnitude larger than. What we'll do is we'll select our terrain texture. We'll go over here and here we go, the size. So that's set to 30. We set that down to 10, so we're 3 times smaller. Now what we've got is a nice rocky texture on top, and these walls are a bit of a different texture in top. See that? On up here as well. Shrink down so we this one. That's looking pretty good. Alright. Now, for a little bit of variety, let's go add another layer. So we'll go moss, and then we've got the terrain meadow moss, and then we've got this rocky moss. So what we'll do is we'll terrain meadow moss, go add another one, and we'll select this rocky moss. Alright, so grab just the plain mossy texture. Let's scale up a little bit. So we'll paint a little bit of moss onto the wall over here. Switch to the rocky moss. Scale up. Just shrink the texture so we can see our brushes again. Let's reduce the opacity a bit. Alright, here we go. So now what we have is we've got this mossy rock wall that extends over here, and then we've got the mossy rocks that then blend into the rocks. So kind of when we're sitting around in this area, we've got this variety in our textures to be here. So now we go into our dungeon rocks. We have a rock pillar. Scale that up. A little bit lava looking though. Let's just go into our textures. Switch back. Filled, so let's do that. Duplicate it. Scale down a bit. Bed those into the wall. There we go. Alright, so for now, I think that's going to do us. We're at 53 minutes, which is pretty good. What we have here is, grab our water. We can take that water away entirely. We've got our abandoned quarry here. So once that water comes up, we can come up to this level, and then from here, down here you can see the water is just below you. You've got these platforms to hop around on and run around in here. And then from down here, if you make it over this far, there's a bit way up here. Haven't quite fixed up the last little piece, that's all right. And then that water can actually raise up. We cover more of the ramp, get ourselves over here. We've got these other platforms with these bridges that come in, so when the water comes up higher, you can still make your way across. Now we can take care of carving some of this later on. We need to add some more fence posts and those kind of things where bridges make a little bit more sense. But all in all, that's looking pretty fantastic. So let's just see if we can switch out this water. One quick change, water. Now we want materials, just those. Alright, so then Polygon. Let's have a look. Jungle River. There we go, look at that. That's the look we're after. That's a lot closer to Ross's original. So here we go. here is our map from above. Let's shrink things so we can see clearly. Grab our directional light. Change where the water light is coming from. Let's go mostly. There we go to this side. That's looking pretty great. Grab our water. And then we can shrink the water down. See, that starts to cover our ramp here. Things flood. Get all the way up to the water continues to flood. People race for high ground. We've got the last of those little platforms left, and then once that floods over the whole world, just got this last layer of the quarry left behind. And there we go. That is our little adventure in taking this this absolutely gorgeous map that Ross McConnell has created for 2 Minute Tabletop. And yeah, we've started the build to bring that into Unity and have it to be somewhere that you can actually run around in 3D. So thank you so much for tuning in, anyone who's catching the replay. And as always, feel free to ask questions, leave a comment, or let me know if there's anything you need. I'm always here to lend a hand. Thanks so much. This is Game Dev Bits, and I'm Timps. Have a great day.